yeah, there was leaked footage of 2 of the Sega remakes. I forgot about that. Or the reboots, you know.
Yeah. One of them was Shinobi, I heard.
Yep. It does look like a fun modern twist on it for the prototype that was seen. The other one was Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, I heard about that one.
It looks like they turned it into kind of like a racing game, which, you know what? Honestly, could be interesting. It's like you're racing to get them all to set destinations. It's like, it's a racing game that's done, like, with checkpoints instead of, you know, having to just go around a course quickly.
Yeah, because, I mean, the original Crazy Taxi, I like the game, but it's very much arcadey in nature, for better and for worse.
Yeah.
It doesn't really thrive super well without multiple people to kind of go up against each other.
And the multiplayer element does definitely add some nice fun to it.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we're back in the Messenger world.
Yep.
So we have all the notes after stupidity.
We got everything pretty much, so.
So what should I do next?
Ahem. Through the power of music, the scroll shall meet its maker. I see. Ahem. The music box beckons. Are you ready to face your last challenge, Messenger?
No, I'm not. I am not ready.
Fuck you too, then, I guess. I mean, we're hoping to save this world, but you're gonna be a dick. And go ahead and be a dick.
Speaking of that, I gotta look forward to the DLC for Sea of Stars.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that got announced. And it's supposed to come out at some point in 2025, so. Yep, yes. Well, we definitely wait for the DLC to release.
I enjoyed the hell out of Sea of Stars.
Yep. I still have to work through it. I probably should get through the whole main game before the DLC comes out.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
I have so many things I'm working on in my game
now,
library.
after playing Sea of Stars, this is all starting to click more to me, god damn it.
I see. So here we go, our last world. We got all the power seals and we got all the notes. So all that's left is just one more long dungeon crawl before we basically get to, I guess, whatever the real power is that this Demon King has, or whatever we're dealing with.
Basically the heart of the music box of what's causing us all to go what's causing all the time and space to go into hell.
I was thinking, use the grappling hook to hit that. Oh, never mind, you don't need to worry about it. But yep, I imagine we'll probably be done this game today, because I imagine it shouldn't be much longer than an hour.
Yeah, this is basically the endgame dungeon.
Ow! Screw you too, buddy! Okay, it looks like all you do is open it and they don't like force you to go on a time limit. At least from what I can tell.
Yeah, at least they're a little bit more merciful on that front.
They have all the platform puzzle being the challenge in itself. No more time straight bullcrap for this, at least. Just gotta hope we get checkpoints in nice spots. Yep, finally we get to the end of this game. I can see exactly how. Well, I'll have to learn how everything from here links once I get through more Sea of Stars. Like I said, I only just got to the segment of the Vespertine, the ship.
Yep, you were telling me about that.
That is where I'm at right now. Some of those enemies were kicking my ass. And I just haven't played in a while. That's all. I'm working more on Neon White. That's a nice, short, simple game. Like, it definitely feels like a game you'd like if you liked the speedrunning style of Doom. I know it's not exactly like it, but, you know.
Yeah.
I don't want to see if he has anything to say.
That's very well a good idea.
May as well see if he has any more stories to share. Yeah, he does have more things to say.
Current area. Well, this is it! Is this my last chance to take care of any unfinished business before the big ending? Is a frog's ass watertight?
Is it?
I guess so. Precisely. What do you want to chat about?
They remind you. Oh good, one more story.
Do you have any stories to share? One last for the road, huh?
Yes.
Why, of course. Here's one for you. There once was a little boy stuck in a well. It wasn't really clear why he was in there. People assumed he fell while playing, or that someone had pushed him. In truth, he had jumped in there himself.
Ugh, dumb kid.
He spent years in the well, wasting away anxiously, feeling utterly inadequate. He had a deep desire to share his ideas with the world, but shame having played such a big part in his upbringing, his will lay broken. That's why the well suited him so perfectly. A place to hide where he could be alone with his stories with no one to mock or judge him.
Of course.
A safe life, Unfortunately devoid of purpose, but at least shielded from rejection.
Huh.
One day he was role-playing. A wanderer passing by looked down the well. "Hey, what's going on down there?" he asked curiously, intent on joining him in the fun.
Oh, God.
"Oh, nothing. Sorry about the noise," the little boy replied. And thus the well remained silent for weeks. The wanderer, patient and compassionate, sat by the well for all that time. His mind was already made up. He would do whatever it took to get that little boy out of there, so that he could share his stories with the world. The creative flame in that little boy's heart refused to die, and eventually he started role-playing again.
Huh.
So the wanderer very cautiously started interacting with him again, telling him that his stories were entertaining and nothing to be ashamed of. Their friendship built really slowly, based on genuine intentions and trust. A few months later, the wanderer and the little boy were sitting together in the well, laughing and sharing stories. The well became an increasingly habitable place, and passersby started looking in. "I think I'm not the only one who would like to hear your stories," the wanderer mused one day. "I'm too afraid to climb out," the little boy replied. "It's okay," the wanderer reassured him. "Let me know when you are ready." Years passed, and the little boy's imagination became more focused. His thoughts and stories shaping into a concrete little world.
Is this a story about him?
And then one day he decided to take the chance. He will build this world and show it to everyone. The wanderer helped him climb out. Mercy Philip. The little boy shared his ideas with the creators of all crafts, and to his surprise, they wanted to help him building it.
Okay.
And so the small team was put together, and he officially became a writer.
Oh, I guess the writer for this game. That's neat.
I wish I could tell you it all ended in fame and fortune, but I trust you understand it's not what this whole journey has ever been about. Mercy Sylvain, Mercy.
Eric, Martin.
I think he's saying thank you to all these people that worked on the film.
Right. I see. Okay. So I guess it's probably one of the staff members having a personal story to share.
Yep.
Alright, that was nice. That was a nice last story in a way. Nice, passionate one from the developers.
Okay.
It's always nice getting to let the developers actually, you know,
Do
express themselves. Yeah. It is always fun hearing a story about the developers like that. A little unrelated, I did see some game development things from Hideo Kojima when he was working on Metal Gear Solid. How, like, for a lot of the world design for that game, he, like, actually, like, used, like, a lot of cardboard to, like, craft the worlds, like, a freaking, like, cardboard display before they, like, put them in the game. To, like, map out and figure out how they would go around the worlds. Like, it is really interesting how a lot of
It is impressive to see how far some of these developers go to, like, get their to make their games work.
Mm-hmm. Back in the day when technology wasn't a thing, they had to do some crafty things.
Yeah, because the technology bred the limitations. Or what is it? The creative juices were flowing because of the limitations, I think is what I'm trying to say.
They're basically able to try to program things in the games to try to bring what they have, like actual physical ideas, to life. I mean, you can see some things, the evolution of technology. Like, I know one of my favorite ones to look at as well is Donkey Kong Country.
That's why the PS1 generation has always been one of the more fascinating generations for me. Because that was the introduction of 3D, and you saw so many people tackle in many different ways before you eventually reach the standard. I know some people fucking hate that generation because of, you know,
I mean,
how
it shows its age.
Experimental.
It shows its age. It's kind of hard to look back and see all that's good now. Like, you try to tell me Mario 64 is a beautiful game. Try to tell me Bubsy 3D is a beautiful game. I wouldn't have even said that even back then. But yeah, I know Donkey Kong 64. They like what was it? They brought like a 3D rendering engine or something.
I know there are some people who just like don't like certain games. Like I've seen some people play. What is it, like the Resident Evil games, even like stuff like Sonic Adventure 2 when the first time playing it, like, because of how, you know, trying to adjust to the environment that is 3D, everybody tried doing it in very different ways. And some did it better than others before we actually had a uniform way of doing it.
Right.
Or in the case of some series, if they still haven't learned anything.
Yeah. But some people still think 3D gaming's never been good.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Well, that's the end. This will be the end of our contract.
Someone tell you that a secret passage? Yeah, my brother used to do that.
If only. Oh, man. Yeah, of course, there are not too many checkpoints around. I was gonna say, I thought they, like, just made it so it would not move. That would've been nice.
No, I said, like, what the hell is going on here?
I guess it just had to wait to actually start that. Ow. Damn it! Oof. Lagging health. Now it's time for us to get good. Oh, never mind. Well, got good.
Got better.
Right. But yeah, I know the 3D graphics engine thing that Rareware had back in the 90s. They basically used that as a basis for creating the character models you have in Donkey Kong Country. They basically just super compressed them into a 2D form. That's why the graphical style for that game is the way it is. They're basically just compressed 3D models. It is pretty neat.
It's impressive seeing how far certain developers will push themselves with their limitations technology.
Yep. Like, it's really interesting seeing, you know, basically taking... I don't know. It's just the graphical style for that is just, it's so unique. I don't want to say it's like the best for the Super Nintendo, but it's certainly one of the most unique.
Yeah. And also, another game that would actually use that style is, ever seen a Toy Story game. Or a Toy Story game in particular, I think.
Oh, a Toy Story game with Super Nintendo?
Yeah, that kind of does the same style that, whatchamacallit?
Mario Kart Country?
Yeah.
I think I might have seen some clips of it. I think it sounds right. I still think my favorite graphical style I saw on the Super Nintendo might either be, at least for Nintendo games, is either Yoshi's Island or Kirby's Dream Land 3. Both those were pretty late in the Super Nintendo's life cycle.
So there is also the case of during that time, because of the big push for 3D, it's like 2D gaming is garbage versus the 3D department. Like, yeah, 3D is a great new thing, even though...
Kirby's Dream Land 3 was one of the freaking last Super Nintendo games, and they managed to make it, like, really look like a freaking art book.
Like, yeah, because, like, they say that thing about the 3D being the future of gaming, but especially considering, if you know, back in the PlayStation 1 and, that, the 6th gen... I think it was the 5th generation, with, like, the PlayStation 1 being, like, kind of like the great push to 3D and all 2D games are garbage, but the thing is, all the 2D games are the ones that are held in higher regard as time has gone on.
Yep. Unless you're like Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, Metal Gear Solid, Resident Evil, and probably a couple others. A lot of them tend to be platformers, but pretty sure most of the absolute standouts have been mentioned at this point. Those are probably the 5 biggest standouts, I would think. Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, Metal Gear Solid, Resident Evil. Oh, maybe it's only 4. GoldenEye to an extent. Mainly because I have the console shooters, but either way. But yeah, it definitely helped shape a lot. But yeah, a lot of the 2D games. You need more of the Prophecy? Really? We already have all the upgrades and we only use these.
You need help with the Prophecy, really. At this point?
Go here. Oh, just point you going back to where you just came out of. Like,
you're
already here, moron. Oh, God.
That would do that just to spite Corbel. It's like, sure, I'm gonna give this charge to you. I don't want to get it.
Dude! Come on!
I'm saving your life, dude!
You don't even need you anymore! It's the principle of the matter.
Yep. Anything that allows me to spite you as well, dude.
You suck. You suck. And yeah, one reason apparently some people think some of the worst like actual hardware ever made console-wise might have been the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360.
I can see that.
Mostly because they were both known for having amazing hardware failures.
Yeah. I haven't heard much about the PlayStation 1 failures, but
I know the
361 is the infamous one.
PlayStation 3, is in particular. Like,
I haven't heard much about the PlayStation 3 style failures, but
it did also have a bad problem. Apparently something it really wanted you like clean deep into the system frequently for. Like yeah, it just wasn't nearly as. Oh, what? Oh, ah. Now it makes sense. Nice though that travels through time just fine. Which is weird, but alright. Yeah, we already know that the red ring of death. Supposedly, PlayStation 3, what they called like the yellow light of death. Especially, it was apparently more common with the original PS3 models, the fat ones. The newer ones didn't have that problem. Yeah, once they got rid of the model that had backwards compatibility, the hardware got a little safer too. Which just figures. Honestly, at this point, I might just be better waiting for a PlayStation 6. The PS.
do you really think you'd be worth to get a PlayStation 6, especially with the track record of all the modern consoles?
That is a good point.
Like, there's a reason why I haven't gotten any modern consoles beyond Nintendo.
They'll probably cut back on PlayStation 4 compatibility. Just watch. All they do. Our PS4 games are getting PS5 Pro enhanced, such as Bloodborne. So we're going to continue enhancing PS4 games.
Yep. I can't wait for the next iteration of freaking Last of Us getting iterated while all the other PlayStation 1 and 2 games basically get relegated to being left in the dust.
Well, at least you'll Last of Us Part 2 remastered on PC soon. If you care for that sort of thing.
I didn't care.
I'm just saying in general. But yep, $700 for an upgraded GPU, a bigger hard drive, or bigger solid state drive rather, and no disk drive. When you get a disk drive, it's going to cost you $90. I guess Blu-ray drives aren't cheap, but even still. I'm noticing some people are basically starting to say it looks like Sony's trying to become the Apple of console developers.
Yeah.
They have good products, but they're trying to treat themselves like a luxury brand. You know, if Microsoft does keep doing consoles, they sell them for cheaper than Sony. That could be something that could bite Sony in the ass.
Yeah.
Even if Microsoft doesn't have a lot of exclusives, it would be, if you don't care for Sony's exclusives, you have a cheaper way for a console to play.
Yeah, but now it's slowly starting to get to a point where
PC is just looking like it's going to be home
the
to
best
everything.
solution, but the problem is now it's like, well, the only person in the console market is now Nintendo.
Yep.
And they're kind of isolated.
Mm-hmm. They're doing their own thing. They're trying to still be unique with the hardware. I would appreciate increase of power from their end, but, you know, I don't want them to be straight up power. The thing that makes them good is that they do a lot of unique things.
Like, they're the creative one.
It doesn't always work, but at least they're willing to experiment. Sony will try to experiment, and if it doesn't work, they will abandon it forever. Like, I heard VR2, I know the VR2 is apparently not been selling that well.
Then again, VR has always been kind of in this weird stasis.
Nobody's been able to make, like, hardware, make games that truly take advantage of virtual reality, make it feel like it's a necessary part of one's gaming experience.
Yeah. And honestly, it just feels like
there's also the price barrier entry, as well as having a very powerful PC. Or typically more powerful PC, I should say. Like, in theory, my laptop could probably handle VR now, but... I don't know if I want to shell out like $300 just to get a fucking VR headset. And hey, at least you can play almost all old games on a PC.
Yeah.
And for other consoles, too!
They tell me to feel bad. It's like, well, I mean, if they're not going to put in the effort to do preservation stuff because either they've forgotten that they have such a big library or whatever it is, I don't know what the explanation is. And don't sit here and fucking tell me otherwise.
I mean, at least Microsoft is trying to get a lot of their older stuff re-available, knowing that it's hard to play a lot of those old games on modern hardware. They tried for a decent bit. But after a while, a lot of complicated issues make it like it's hard to guarantee every single title will continue to work. I do get that point, but you know, at this point, I hope that, you know, the console developers are going to keep going. Hopefully they recognize the fact that, yes, having friggin' backwards compatibility with, like, all the games you had on the previous hardware should be
important?
Yes.
To put it mildly.
They should understand that it's important for gamers to be able to play access their old games. That's one thing that'll allow them to still make money off digital storefronts from games that basically have been in the market for years. So, you know, it's not like it's detriment to them to keep the games available. As long as you have the server space, I guess. Which I think a lot of their servers are based on, like, Amazon Web Services or whatever. That's like a lot of them are based on, I think. Oh, man. Well, at least they're getting really experimental, these freaking portals now. Ah, you gotta open the door first. Break the box. You can probably fall to the floor over there.
I know, it's just the steam.
Right. And now we can go that way. And now we go up to the other portal over there. Ah, now you can fall through there and maybe get aggravate something else. Ah, you can go up there. There we go. That was it. Wow, this is one long dungeon.
Yep. It's basically a who's who of all the mechanics that you've basically seen throughout the game.
Yep.
So,
Power of Time 2.0. Oh, really? Is it really worth... I mean... Actually, I was gonna say... It'd be weird if you had to fight a boss traveling through 2 different time periods to finish it. You had to kill them in both the present and the future.
Yeah, it would be weird, wouldn't it?
I mean, I guess, you know, if there was a weakness you had to find in the future, then be able to beat him in the present, that would be one way to go about it, I guess. What are the other gaming news that came up lately? The PS5 Pro was a big one. Although they did get Astrobots, so that's, you know, I see another potential game of the year that's not, you know, the typical frickin' AAA gaming fare of being a third-person action game that has whatever systems you have for combat that tend to be mostly based on Souls games nowadays and frickin'. Yeah. It's the one game I would consider getting a PS5 for, but because I don't really want to get a PS5, I don't really think I need to. It's not that worth it for me. I don't know if there's any more gaming news lately. I mean, oh yeah, more layoffs.
Oh, fun.
Activision Blizzard in particular.
Of course it would be Activision Blizzard.
Well, Microsoft laid off a lot of their corporate people, I think. Like 600 plus of them, I think. It wasn't the actual developers this time, but it was people who worked with Activision Blizzard at the very least.
My concern is if the good corporate or the bad corporate.
It's probably a lot of the positions that, you know, they probably have Microsoft's people basically working instead of them, probably.
I wonder if they all got golden parachutes for everybody.
Sounds like, it said most of them, said pretty much all of them got severance packages, so that's something.
I don't know if I should be happy about that or not.
I mean, at least they're, you know, not being left out to die. I also heard the Penny's Big Breakaway studio laid off half a dozen of their people, too.
Goddamn.
Yeah. And indie studios are small, so, you know, that could be a pretty significant chunk. Even if it just sounds like it's just 6.
I know, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, pretty unfortunate.
I guess financials they had weren't what they hoped they would be.
Yeah.
They said it was unavoidable. I mean, that's what a lot of the tech business is right now. A lot of people are realizing
It's
how
an inevitability.
costly it is. Yeah. It's just for some it's worse than others, especially when consolidation comes in. Consolidation has been the biggest enemy of a lot of it.
What does consolidation do again?
I mean, basically, well, you know, basically just a lot of, like, you know, companies buying other companies and basically integrating them into others. Like,
Oh,
what everybody
okay.
hates Microsoft for. I know Sony laid off some Bungie people as well when they bought them. Just, you know, not to that extent, because, you know, not nearly as big. But yeah, that was some of the rough news that was going around. And then everybody keeps expecting Nintendo Directs lately to mention the Switch successor. They keep trying to tell people, no, we're not ready to go over that yet. No, stop. Stop hoping for it. Anybody still hoping for that game Hollow Knight Silk Song? Oh, God. Okay, now this got weird. I guess the final boss is upon us. Maybe he has some tips for us. Is that like a shrine or something?